Looking for that city feel with that suburban touch? In this video, I'm covering my top pros and cons of living in Oak Park, Illinois. So stay tuned. What is happening, everybody? This is Austin Weiss, your go-to real estate resource here in the Chicagoland area. Whether you're a returning viewer or first time to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future content. I do a ton of videos all about what it's like to work, eat, live, and play right here in the Chicago Metro. Today's video is going to be everything I love and hate about Oak Park, Illinois. I actually lived there for 3 years, so a lot of this is going to be my personal opinions from being involved in the community, of course living there, and from a real estate perspective. These aren't going to be in any particular order. These are just kind of what came to mind when I was writing my thoughts down. So without any further delay, the first one's going to be community and diversity. And Oak Park has done a fantastic job of building the base of its community through a diverse population and community involvement. They have awesome recreational facilities and activities available to its population, including Ridgeland Common that features a 50-meter swimming pool, an indoor ice skating rink, and turf fields for both youth and adult athletics. Don't forget Austin Gardens just off of downtown Oak Park with its beautiful landscape that overlooks some of the famous architecture in Oak Park, built by Frank Lloyd Wright. The artwork is phenomenal, both done by artists old and young that line the train tracks and spread throughout the area, including the Arts District. And if you thinking that Oak Park might lack in some of the food that the city of Chicago has, don't discount the locally owned restaurants in the downtown area off Oak Park Avenue, the Arts District, and of course Madison Street. And Saturday mornings feature different farmers markets throughout the city, as well as tons of history, including mob history, Ernest Hemingway Birthright House, and of course, Frank Lloyd Wright and the Unity Temple. That takes us right into number 2, and touching more on the community aspect, there are a ton of block parties, festivals, and of course, activities in the Oak Park area. I remember personally when I first moved there, I was driving around with my fiance and a lot of the roads in the neighborhoods were blocked off, and we were wondering if it was because of construction or whatever. And as we looked further down the street, a lot of the neighbors were sitting in chairs with picnic tables in the middle of the street. The kids were bouncing around in a bounce house. The adults were kicking back some beers, and they were just having a good old neighborhood block party. Very common in the Oak Park area in the summertime, as well as the festivals along Marion Street, Wine Fest, Beer Fest, and of course Thursday night out. On Thursdays, they bring in some local bands. The restaurants are having some dining on the sidewalks and some sidewalk sales, and it's just a really cool way to meet people that live in the community. And the activities, the Oak Park Park District has a phenomenal selection of different activities, from educational programs, dancing, sports, athletics for youth and adults and seniors, as well as some day trips that you can kind of go and explore the city and different areas of Illinois. And it's just a really, really great time to go meet some people and do fun activities. All right, so after addressing a couple of things I absolutely love about Oak Park, the neighborly vibes, the sense of community, the overall atmosphere, let's talk about something I really disliked about living there. And that's Oak Park kind of sits on its own island along with River Forest and Forest Park. A lot of the surrounding communities and towns are so-so. The crime rates are significantly higher. I will say this, I do believe in the next 5 to 10 years there'll be significant turnover in Berwyn and Cicero, which we are already seeing as a lot of young professionals are moving there because the houses are incredibly affordable. To the east, the neighborhood of Austin and Chicago, I've had quite a few investors inquire about that neighborhood. I've shown quite a few 3 and 4 flats and had investors purchase there as they rehab some vacant units and find tenants. So I do believe that those neighborhoods can only get better, but as of now, the Oak Park area does kind of sit on its own island. And that takes us right into the number 2 thing that I really disliked about Oak Park, and that's the incredibly high property taxes. So expect to pay anywhere between 3 to 4% of the valuation of your home per year. And that's because a lot of the surrounding communities are so-so. There's a high desire to live in the awesome community of Oak Park. And the second part of that is there's a limited tax base from businesses, as there's really no shopping or malls in the Oak Park community. A lot of the businesses are small mom and pop shops and locally owned businesses, which is actually a good thing. but that causes the tax rates on properties to be incredibly higher as they're not drawing in any income from big box stores or any major infrastructure in the Oak Park community. All right, speaking of businesses and infrastructure, let's talk about the number 3 thing I absolutely love about Oak Park, and that's the downtown area. I actually feature this in my top 10 downtown areas of the Western Suburbs video, so if you want to watch that, you can click right there. But Oak Park is awesome. The downtown area features Lake Street and Marion Street as their main drags. There's a ton of different locally owned businesses and shopping, some fantastic eateries. They just put in a Cooper's Hawk winery a couple years ago. They just built 3 or 4 different condo and apartment towers. So if you're looking for something a little bit newer, definitely check those options out. They just put in a Target, a brand new parking garage, in addition to the 2 or 3 that were already there. Parking's free up to a certain time limit, so that's a great perk of visiting the downtown area and living in that area as well. They also have the Metro stop and a Green Line stop just off of Marion Street. So if you want to live in that area, enjoy all the fantastic eateries and shopping of the downtown area, and then get on the train into the city's loop for work, that's a great option as well. And don't forget the iconic Lake Street Theater that towers over Lake Street. It's really cool to go catch a film and then afterwards grab a beer at one of my favorite places, Beer Shop. Let's dive into the real estate of Oak Park, which takes us right into the third thing that I really disliked about Oak Park. And as a general rule of thumb in the Chicagoland area, as you get further towards the city, the lot sizes will be smaller. So Oak Park tends to be about 1/10 of an acre. So you're basically living on top of your neighbor, even if you have a single family house. If you spend a little bit more money, buy a bigger house, you could get anywhere from 1/5 of an acre to 1/4 of an acre, but that's rare in the Oak Park area. And number 4 con is that a lot of the houses are incredibly old. I mean, I'm talking about anything built around the 1900s, early 20th century. Throughout the decades, they have built a few new houses as lots have become available. And every now and again, you see something that's torn down and they're putting up a brand new build. So it's really common in the Oak Park area just to rehab the original structure, keep the original 4 walls, and redo the entire inside of the house. And I will say that a lot of the older houses are absolutely beautiful. You're not gonna find anything that looks very similar to the one right next door or around the corner, so that has it going for it. But one thing that is kind of strange about Oak Park, as you drive around the town, you're never gonna see a for sale sign. So there will be no for sale real estate signs in Oak Park. You know you've left Oak Park when you start seeing for sale signs. That kind of dictates the boundary lines. Harlem, Austin to the east and west, and then obviously North Avenue and Roosevelt to the north and south. So if there's high taxes, old houses, why would anybody ever want to live there? And one of the main reasons is my number 4 pro of Oak Park is its proximity to the city. It's pretty much the first suburb directly west of Chicago. It was originally founded because people were living in the city and they wanted to get out to the countryside, so they built some manor homes in the Oak Park area. Now it's basically just its mini city and attached to Chicago. But yeah, the proximity to the city, it's about 8 to 9 miles depending on where you are in Oak Park outside of the city's loop. You can definitely get into the city really quickly from the Metro line, the Green line, or the Blue line. I remember taking the Blue line home from the United Center all the time a few years ago when the Blackhawks were actually winning. And the Metro line will take you right into Union Station. Green line will take you right into the city's loop, along with the West Loop, where a lot of the bars and nightlife are. If you want to rough it on the highway, 290 always has traffic, and that's because it gets bottlenecked as there's a lane reduction right as you get to Oak Park. You expect to sit in traffic and add anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes on whatever your GPS is telling you. But yeah, proximity is fantastic in the Oak Park area. Let's touch on the number 5 con of living in Oak Park, and that's the cost of living. The cost of living is significantly higher than the national average, and that's basically based on housing, taxes, groceries, and transportation. The average price point of a house is slightly over $500,000. Rent is quite affordable. I rented a apartment for several years there, 1 bedroom with a den and just about 1,100 square feet for $1,200 a month. However, I had to pay an additional $100 for parking as there was no parking included in the rent. Gas, heat, and water were included in my rent, so that was a major perk as well. So while we're at it, let's touch on the final pro of living in Oak Park. One of my favorite things about that is the school districts were fantastic. I didn't touch on this in my top 10 school districts in living in the Western Suburbs video, as I left it out. So that's my mistake, but if you want to watch that video, it's right here. I will make sure to touch on the school district immensely in some of my vlog videos coming up about Oak Park area. Oak Park River Forest is the high school. It's number 37th ranked in Illinois, and the number 6th ranked Catholic private high school is Fenwick. All these schools in Oak Park, except for one, are rated A on niche.com. And something that I love about Oak Park is that you probably will not get stuck behind a school bus driving around Oak Park, as most of the kids bike or walk to school because of the proximity and closeness of all the schools to the neighborhoods, which is a huge perk for me as when driving around. But hey, if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If there's ever anything I can do to help you with your move, buying, selling, or investing in real estate anywhere in the Chicagoland area or Oak Park, I'm always available by phone, text, email, days, nights, weekends, and I would love to simplify that whole process for you. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later.